This actual ticket has been decided that I'm going to sing, so here we go. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, go. Adam Cole and the babies. 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 That was great. The party for life. The party for life.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody had a great holiday weekend and a better start to your week. This is THS Wrestling Presents That Wrestling Show. My name is John, and I am joined by a man that once told me that 1 and 1 made 3, and I believed him. Neeson, how we doing?
Well, hell is frozen over. So, we're doing pretty damn good, I would say. Yeah, 1 + 1 does equal 3, baby. Look at that.
Yes,
shout out to everybody and COVID free now. It's like COVID, Thanksgiving, and here, and then Punk is back. What a time! What a time!
What a time indeed! What up to Dylan, Garcia, Matthew, Kat, RJ? What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well and ready to. Matthew, you've been sick since Saturday. I'm sorry, my man. You gotta hydrate. You gotta do other things. I don't know. I'm sick constantly because I don't know what to do when I'm sick, and I'm not sick constantly, guys. This is a bit. Goodness. Neeson, we saw each other on Saturday. How have you been since then?
In shock. I've been in shock. If I know we're kind of catching up, but just to be honest, I've really been in shock and awe. I think living on Twitter and just seeing the reactions of like, oh shit. And then yesterday, I think, full transparency, I don't remember the last time I kind of felt like you watched Raw live. And to just get that little feeling, it was like, man, what a time we're living in. Like this is the stuff that I live for, to be able to have fun, engaging conversations, agree to disagree with you, with the people in the chat, with the people online and Twitter. This is fun. This is what it's supposed to be. This is a true escape from reality. This is it. What a fucking time, guys.
You almost said look in my eyes because he was rhyming. I heard it. You almost said it.
I did. And I almost said, tell me what you see. And then I was just gonna ask you, what did you see?
Well, I mean, we'll get to that. I don't know if this needs to be the Phil show the whole way through, but it might end up being that. We'll see. We'll see how we feel. I mean, we just we see how it goes here. Can't wait for this breakdown. Lane, I can't. I could probably wait, but we'll see. And Neeson said we're going to have constructive conversation where I'm probably going to lose my mind and I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling in 30 seconds. It could change.
How are you though, Pingo? How are you, man? How
people change, and they change in the span of 2 months. Anyway,
people change because they're not there to make friends. They're there to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it's about. And look, I can't wait till we get into this conversation. I really can't. But how are you? How are good. Things on I wasn't gonna call it FIFA, but
FC24. It's nuts. I'm obsessed. It's bad. Half the people in this chat know about my obsession. I'm sorry. It's bad. It's really bad. I finally played another person last night and won, and I felt pretty good. And I played today, and I lost 2-0. And they hit the gritty on me twice, and I almost threw my controller through my monitor, but that's okay.
Did they hit the Tozawa on you though?
No, but you know what? That's money. Why does everyone hate, like, is that the gimmick that everyone around him hates it?
It's not. I don't think they hate it. It's a thing of like, ooh, that's nasty. Like it's like
Oh,
one of
okay,
those like,
got it.
yeah.
Got
It's
it.
one of those like, ooh, that's
Okay. I was
nasty.
a little confused, but I love that he's finding his little, like, niche, like he's back on TV. I
He's
love it.
great.
It's
He's
funny.
great. We got R-Truth and Tozawa on TV together. What a time! And
What a time.
somebody mentioned this. Somebody mentioned this about Garcia mentioned like, whoa, we're gonna talk about the most important time. R-Truth. R-Truth was eating. They called them jelly rolls, but they weren't really jelly rolls. They're the
Yeah.
little Miss Debbie roll ice. Those are crack. Okay, when we talk about addiction, when we talk about, oh, I'm just gonna have one. Next thing you know, I'm empty. My hand is in an empty box, and I'm like reaching at the bottom, and there's no more there. And I just happen to have another box that I eat. Those things, you could just. I don't know how R-Truth literally didn't eat that whole platter of
Who's
those
to say he
things.
didn't?
Well, he just left. I mean, they would have been gone before Judgment Day came
True.
back to their clubhouse, especially with
True.
no TV. I'm just eating jelly rolls. I'm just jelly rolling it. Just me
rolling
and
it.
jelly. Just me and the jellies, just me and the jellies. Just gobbling,
Yeah.
Jelly roll here, jelly roll there. I'm just a jellying.
Right. Absolutely.
It's a great time.
Boogs, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. JP Holland. Holland's on my bench right now. That's how good my team is. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
I mean, we can. I need
could.
to step it up. I need to get on that.
You need to get back
UFC
on.
5 has been taking over my life right now. Yeah.
So R-Truth return. I know, like, I think Triple H nailed it when he's like, "We're all here to talk about R-Truth and his return." And I was like, yes, Triple H. That's exact. We in this house, we celebrate the return of R-Truth. Love R-Truth.
I mean, come on. Who doesn't? How can you not look into his eyes and you tell what you see through his eyes? He is a quote of personality. That's R-Truth. That's who he is. He's great.
We also got the. All right, so what did you think of Survivor Series? I just want to kind of like. I thought it was a pretty good show overall. We're going to talk about Rhea separately from this show.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about her run a little bit.
Yeah.
I liked the show. I thought it was pretty good. I thought both War Game matches were great. I really enjoyed the Miz Gunther match. And were you taken aback? Because I feel like we all went, wait a minute, it's 7:00 and we're starting the men's War Game match. That's it. Were you taken aback by there only being like 6, or were there only 5 matches on this card?
No, I was not taken back by it. I was. This is what WWE has been doing, right? Like, I think, it's weird because AEW doesn't do a lot of pay-per-views, but people are so like, I have to sit down for this 5-hour show.
Yeah, I think
and fall asleep, wake up, and, in the middle of it. At least I do. And so I think what Triple H really took over. I mean, Vince did it as well, but we could tell NXT. We remember those takeovers. They were right, tight, and just amazing to watch, right? And I think that's what Triple H has done in Survivor Series. Man, I saw no flaws in it. I thought it was a great pay-per-view, and it really set the tone for WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania. I know we joke about it, or I've joked about it. I know since I've been on this show that, yeah, guys, look, Survivor Series is really the road to WrestleMania. You could say Royal Rumble all you want to, but Survivor Series, but it never really felt that way until this Survivor Series. I felt like both War Games matches are going to have big outcomes about, their champions that was in the matches. Also, the storylines on storylines on storylines that was a part of the matches. I think the Miz and a Gunther was a perfect match to be able to show just the two different generations. Miz has been in WWE for 20 years.
Wild.
Right? Like that 20 years, that's pretty nuts, right? Or been wrestling for 20 years, rather. So you have Gunther that, he's been around for a long time too, but he's not really a sports entertainer. He's a professional wrestler. And the clash of those, I think it really, really suits well for Gunther, but also Miz is a living legend. And in this space right now, and it really puts him as that, like, hey, I'm gonna get these guys over even more. And you can just see that Miz is Teflon. He is, to me, he's the new Dolph Ziggler, but in a better situation, because they will pull the trigger on him because he's a former 2-time champion. He's a 2-time grand champion. So I only little dip I thought was Rhea, because it was so predictable that Rhea wasn't gonna lose, but I thought the match was good. I thought Zoe Starks she definitely has it. I think she just needs to find a way in the space that's being soaked up by like all these talented women. But she's definitely gonna be around for quite a long time. And I know I mentioned Ziggler earlier. The way she's selling, she's definitely maybe the Dolph Ziggler of that women's division for sure.
Yeah, she impressed me a lot in that match, and I think she'll eventually find the thing that separates her from the pack, and I feel makes her stand out a little bit more. I don't know what that is, but we'll get there soon. I think it's like just only a matter of time. But we had a couple of returns. We already mentioned R-Truth. What did you think? What did you initially think of the Randy Orton return? And then I guess we can kind of say, like, with the return of Phil to WWE, do you think that kind of lessened the return of Randall?
Randy Orton looks like a beast.
It's wild.
Randy Orton, like, it was a close up on Monday night that he had when they had the camera to him, and I was like, who is this man? Who is this behemoth of a beast named Randall Keith Orton? And I also instantly thought, like, yeah, this is a star. Like, this is star power. Like, this is legendary. I walk on a screen and I hold that. And that's the first thing I thought when that music hit. Now, what do I think of how they treated Randy Orton's return? I thought it was smart to get ahead of the CM Punk thing. I thought it was smart to be able to say the Monday before, to say his name without saying his name. I thought that was genius to me. I love that. I love it was like in their right, and like throw the mic, and it's like, oh, dope. And then I didn't like that. Well, looking back in the moment, I did not like how they, on the pay-per-view, the through line was, is he gonna show up? Oh my God, who is it gonna be? Oh no, what are we gonna do? Sort of thing, because that led to the crowd being in Chicago potentially hijacking with CM Punk chats all the way through.
Right.
And I thought they were trying to get ahead of that with announcing Randy Orton because of that. So watching that, it kind of took me out of it, but it was really psychology. It was genius. It was genius, because the whole time I'm like, oh, what? Oh my God, Randy Orton's not going to come out into the end of the match until like they need him. He's not going to be in a cage. So the people are going to think it's CM Punk, and it's not going to be CM Punk, and people are going to be upset. The show's going to get hijacked. It's going to get booed. But then you have the potential cash in. And this is what I'm talking about, the storyline over storyline. Because then the cash in comes and you're like, oh, wait, is this going to happen? Is this, we had it at Mania, Could we get it at Survivor Series? This would be a real moment. And on Seth Rollins, which had the biggest cash in ever, could he be the one that gets cash in on the second biggest? Like, this is really genius. That's what's about to happen. And then Randy Orton's music. He's like, of course we're not going to get a cash in. Randy Orton's coming out.
I will say, despite however I feel about how I feel about things, the last 15 minutes of that pay-per-view was out of control in a good way. It was, and also you mentioned Randy Orton. Randy Orton looked like, do you remember like the first time when they're like, here's WWE 2K like 16 and they're like not actual game footage. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
It's like he came out. He was rendered from a video.
I was gonna say super rendered out, like just super. Yeah. He's
but it's good. I mean, it was good to see Randy. I thought within the match, and also to your point, like looking back on it, it's like, oh, of course, this was the lead up. Now was that they were because, you know, the man with the plan was indeed Triple H, because he knew, like, now we can get away with being like, Randy's not, is he coming? I don't know. Let him chant, because at the end of the night, they'll be happy. But in the moment when Randy came out and got into the ring, I feel like there was a brief moment where we were all like, oh boy, I don't know. But once Randy started going, the crowd was into it, and I think I don't know if I turned to you and I said they saved it. If Punk doesn't show up, they saved it. I think they got the crowd. I think so. Fine.
Yeah, you did. You said, here we go, like we're off. Like it was
we're off. We're good.
Yeah. It was.
And then you know, we get, I don't know how JD Madonna came out on Raw the next night, because I was like, wow, his neck is broken.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking JD McDonough there in the back, like JB McDonough was Harry Potter, and like everybody's like, okay, you know, Finn's like, hey, look, like you're gonna do this, and I'm sorry, JB McDonough was Ron. He was like, you're gonna do this. He was like, no. He was like,
yeah,
he's gonna sacrifice himself. He was like, he's like,
Ron, no.
No. He's like, not me, not Hermione, you.
Yeah. Next strong. Now we have two next strong people.
Not me, not Hermione, you. That's what that's what was JD McDonough telling Finn. He was like, they don't need me. Yeah. I'm gonna sacrifice myself.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, and we all were like, okay, great pay-per-view, or great PLE. My bad. Sorry. And they even threw up the little copyright logo, which was genius.
Boy.
And then Cult of Personality, the new remix that came out 4 days ago, hit, and old Phil in his white shirt came out, and he waved, and everyone was happy, and the end. That's it.
I mean, except this guy.
Except Seth. Except Seth.
The only look,
not happy.
All praise to Michael Swole. Okay, Michael Swole was the only man that was able to hold Seth Rollins, our world champion, back. Okay, this man is on the road 300 days a year, putting down people that's twice his size, and then bam, Michael Swole came up and stopped him. Those copyrights, the logo got me when it flew up. And honestly, when I say these are the moments that I live for, look, we're watching it like everybody else. Copyright, we're cool. We're like, okay. And I turned to you and I said, like it's not gonna happen. Yeah. Like that's crazy. And I sat down in a chair and It happens, and everyone in the room gets up besides you. Yes, you are definitely sitting.
Yeah,
You're
don't
definitely sitting down.
lump me
Everyone
in.
in the room besides Pingle gets up and is like, "Holy shit!" We're talking about these are people in this room that are very jaded to wrestling, that kind of seen
It
every
was
other wrestling.
it was wild to behold.
Everyone had a reaction, and I can't remember the last time that happening. Maybe Kofi Kingston winning a championship, and like everyone just having a reaction. And say what you want about Punk. Say what you feel, say what you want, but you feel something. And that's exactly what wrestling is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you feel something. Even if people try not to feel something, they're trying not to feel something. They're trying not to care. I don't care about this. You try if you didn't care, you wouldn't even say it. You wouldn't care. Like it'd be like, oh, all right, cool, man. Straight. You care. People care. In that moment, WWE realized, and not that they realized, but they know at the end of the day, people care and they're going to capitalize off it on every single time. And that is what business is. I loved every moment of it.
And that concludes our Phil Brooks talk for the evening. Rhea Ripley, let's talk. No, we've obviously got to talk a little more about this. I will stand by what I said a couple of weeks ago. It's my new favorite GIF. Thank you, Dylan. I don't care what he does, and I mean that. I to me, honestly, and I've been as soon as you messaged me this morning and said you wanted to do this show, I almost said I can't do this show. I can't because I'm so just like I'm so tired. I'm just so tired of Phil and everything that Phil brings. Because now it's it's good for WWE. Let's get that out of the way. That is a true statement, I will say. Do I think it's the nail in the coffin for AEW that everyone is seemingly claiming it is? Absolutely not. Do I don't know, man. I'm just kind of it's very weird to me to be someone who loved CM Punk for a very long time, and then he went away for his reasons, whether you like them or not. Then he came back, and you, me, Junior, and Johnny, I believe. No, Johnny wasn't in the car with us. The three of us on my phone watched him come back to professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And that was a huge moment.
It was.
Sunday was also a huge moment. Monday to me felt really fucking fake. I think that's the point. I watched it and I went, okay. I think the other thing we need to realize, and granted, we don't know everything that happened backstage at AEW. It's all rumors and hearsay. I like to say he couldn't stop fighting his coach. Who knows if that was true or not? The fact of the matter is, he's only back in professional wrestling because of AEW. And then when he got fired from AEW, he found a couch to stay on and was like, "Yeah, I'm home." That feels really not genuine from him. The guy who's like, "I always come out here and talk about how I feel. I'm home." Okay. I don't know. I'm still in it right now. I'm trying to be like an actual. Of course, as soon as this comes up, we get, hello, sorry for bothering you. I would like to offer you promotions. Get out of here. Punk signed the contract a few minutes before he went out on Raw and would have been set. So of course that promo wasn't going to be Oscar worthy.
I'm letting you get all your feels out before I reply. So I don't.
So I don't know. It just feels very. It felt like I want to see a side by side of his promo when he came back to AEW, when he debuted in AEW, and I want to see it side by side with this one. I'm not saying to see which one I feels more real to me. I want to see, because it felt like he cut the same exact promo, but just to a different audience. Does that make sense? Like, he used the voice of the voiceless thing, and I feel like he's like, I heard you all those years. Like, he did this already. It didn't feel new. And listen, I'm not looking for him to be like, hey, fuck you, Tony Khan. I'm here to make real bucks and turn the page. I'm not waiting for him to like dig on AEW the entire time. I'm just saying it felt very disingenuous. Hold on. Before you say anything, well, Garcia says, do you think we can cut the same promo that he cut in AEW? Yes, I do, because he was literally doing it like 5 months ago. He was still cutting promos at a high level. This just felt like, to me, making your big return to home. It fell flat for me. And that's not, I was ready. I was ready for the promo. I was ready for it. I tuned in and I watched it and I was like, here we go. What does he have to say? And again, I was not looking for him to trash AEW. I was just looking for him to say something that made me go, okay, I get it. We're going to be here for over an hour. I already know it. And we can't, folks, because I have to record something else. Neeson, go ahead.
This is why I love professional wrestling. Because for someone not to, because you're in it and you don't, it just makes you feel this much. That's what I love. I love that. Like, because that's, to me, that's exactly what he wants, right? And he, meaning Punk, meaning Triple H, meaning wrestling, whatever. You want what you just did. You want that. It made me feel like this. You went on for, I mean, you know, maybe like five-ish minutes there. And I was just sitting there like, wow, this is great. Like, this is great, because what I got from it, if we're just talking about the promo in particular, this CM Punk versus Seth Rollins is John Cena versus The Rock. This is when you had, quote unquote, two supposedly baby faces. They weren't baby faces. They weren't heels. One had a fan base. The other had a fan base. And both of them are going to speak truth to their realities. And so they're both going to have those crowds split. And what I got from that promo was exactly that. People were booing CM Punk in that crowd. It wasn't 100% CM Punk chants. Then you heard Seth Rollins' theme song being sung during his promo. Like, you can sniff. They set this up so perfectly at Survivor Series with that off-camera. You know, the minute Seth Rollins on a Sunday night at a house show does a promo lightly mentioning about what happened, it's like, oh, this is a beautiful work, guys. This is an amazing. We are in. I am seated and I'm along for the ride, because now Punk doesn't have to worry about being, oh, I'm gonna be this baby face. And yeah, he could say he's home, but he knows it's literally riling up all the people that's behind Seth Rollins, all the people that Seth Rollins was talking to on Sunday, saying, all the people that's been here, been working out here, you'll make it the hottest ticket. It's like, yeah, Seth Rollins, you're right. You're speaking truth. But also, this guy that there's no doubt about it, him being gone for 10 years in the WWE, but you say AEW's brought him back to professional wrestling when technically Fox did. Fox bought him. He's on record saying he was thinking about wrestling and thinking about wrestling during that time. Right? So yes, AEW gave him a contract that he liked and a favorable deal and signed and power and all those things. Yeah, but just like Cody, he realized like, hey man, it's kind of cool just to be a wrestler. It's kind of cool not to have all these things going on, because when we have all these, you're responsible for a whole lot that you just may not want to do. You don't want to control your own show and have responsibility. I was a big CM Punk fan, and I can't tell you how much it affected me during an interview where he basically wanted to rip my throat out at Comic-Con in 2021 when I interviewed him and Jade, and I asked him about PWG. I asked him like, hey, like, this is great, like, this is what PWG is, this and this and this, and he was like, absolutely not. He just got mad. It was like, this is not what we're trying to do. I'm like, my bad, man. But I think he realizes that he doesn't want to have that power or control. And whatever audience is going to have, whatever discourse that's happening, negative or positive online, one thing about it is going to be discourse. And one thing about it, that captain, oh my captain, Seth Rollins, is the flagship of that company. Yes, Roman Reigns is, the face and all these things and yada, yada. Seth Rollins is Bret Hart. He's the guy. Like, he's the guy that's pushing the new generation. He's the guy that's been bringing people up, trying to have matches, having it, like, working, being on the front of everything. He's that guy. Why not? Why not have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and CM Punk does not weigh heavy on a heel or face. He weighs heavy on being CM Punk, because that's what people want to see. They just want to see CM Punk. And I think that's what I got from that promo. He didn't have to do too much. He didn't have to do any of those things. And so if we rewind it back to just, debuting, right? I thought, I didn't really think they were going to pull the trigger. I thought it'd be cool. But just the fact that they did pull the trigger, just the fact that him coming out and it feeling like home. Like, it feeling like, oh, bro, yeah, this is where you were supposed to be this whole time. Like, the production, the light, this is you. Like, you are this. You are a sports entertainer. You could talk about being a professional wrestler all you want to. You are a sports entertainer, and damn sure good at it. And so I really don't care if it was the same copy-paste promo. What I do care about is the setup that it did do. And again, if we double back and watch that Cena and Rock build up, and when it got personal and all those things, but it was no heel or babyface. It was two guys with dedicated fan bases that was passionate about the business, that put it all aside to make record-breaking money. And if we're talking about Philly, and we're talking about it's damn near already sold out, boy. This is about to be some record-breaking times in the WWE. And hey, we could tip our hat to CM Punk making the call, because from all accounts, he made the call. He sought it out. He actually sought it out when he was suspended from AEW when he wanted to come back in the first place. Like, those rumors came out to be true that he wanted to face Kevin Owens. So I think this is where he wanted to be for quite some time. And I'm excited. I'm excited about what's to come, and I'm here for it. I am seated. Dylan, you said something about my hand. I don't know what you said. You said, if this is only going to be an hour show, we need an update on these. Said, yes. So my hand tore a ligament in my thumb. Actually had my follow-up appointment yesterday. Have to wear a brace for another month. But also I broke this brace because I don't listen.
Oh,
So yeah, so I have to get another one made. As you can see, it's like duct taped here, and then I put some resin glue here to like seal it. But yeah, man, it's all right. It hurts. I don't have a lot of strength in it, but let's go. We're still out here. We're still doing shit, even though I'm not supposed to.
that's fine.
Yeah. And we only got like 20 minutes, so
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you're like the Undertaker with the mask, but you have it on your thumb.
that means Pingo hates me.
No,
If
absolutely
I start
not.
shooting lightning out of my can I
Um,
just be the Black Palpatine?
sure, you can be whatever you want. I believe in you. You can be whatever you want.
Cool. Black
Um,
Palpatine, guys.
I mean,
Do
I
it.
don't know, guys. I'm just like I said. It's just like uh, there's just a lot. There's a lot to unpack. I feel like so if he when he was suspended
Mhm.
was thank you. I love my Bam Bam Bigelow hat too. I wore it to work today. If he was seeking out, I just don't. I don't know. It feels like then why when AEW was trying to sign him did he not go to WWE and be like they're trying to sign me? I do want to come back to wrestling. Make me an offer.
But why go to AEW though?
Right. But that's not
Are
what
you
I'm
saying
saying.
you're saying go back? Why did he go back to AEW?
No. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase the question.
Yeah.
If he was ready to come back to wrestling
Mm-hmm.
and Tony Khan in the first place wants to bring him back to
Mm-hmm.
professional wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
why did Punk if him wanting to wrestle Kevin Owens and him I allegedly talking to I don't know I don't recall that rumor, then why not in the first place if WWE is really where he belongs in his home,
Mm-hmm.
why did he not go, hey, they're trying to sign me, I don't know if I want to go there, I think I'm ready to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Why
I Pingo, I got a question, and I know I'm answering your question with the question, but it's leading to something. Um, have you ever spun the block?
have I ever done what to who now?
Have you ever?
Well, you just cut out when you said whatever you just.
Oh, my
Oh,
AirPods just
your
died
AirPods
out.
died.
I don't know why they're charged,
I was like,
but
you were like, have you ever? And I
yeah.
was like, what am I having a stroke? What's happening?
Have you ever spun the block?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so spinning the block means you break up with a girl, and then it's been a while, and then maybe summer comes around, you spin the block, you go back, just to see what it was like a couple of times. That's spinning the block. Is he there for a good
I
time,
have to
not a
think.
long?
I have to think.
Yeah.
No,
Uh,
I don't. Maybe I get what you're saying. If that
okay,
helps.
so when you spin the block, like it usually takes a couple of other, like you try to go to, but right before you do that, you meet, you probably meet some other chick, you meet some other doing some other stuff. It's real fun, and then you're out one time and you see it, you're like, oh my god, damn, that actually, it wasn't that bad. Like, yeah, okay, I messed up. I messed up a lot. They messed up too, but I messed up too. I messed up. You know, You should probably nah. I'm not gonna do that. That looks way sexy. You know what? I'm gonna just go here. This looks sexier. This looks great. I know they know me over there, and we're really perfect together, but not right now. I'm gonna just go here. They go there. They're having that relationship, but that ex is still in the back of their mind because it's unfinished business there. And I think that's what it was. AEW was the hottest thing at the time. AEW had momentum. AEW was climbing. AEW was already selling out arenas. AEW did the tennis place, right? They was doing these different things. AEW was the talk of professional wrestling. It was nothing that was bigger than AEW at the time. They were, I mean, of course, you know, WWE is going to have numbers, blah, 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 but they were on their way. So CM Punk, you see that, and you see something that could be like, I do love it. I do miss it. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go over here first. I'm gonna do this. And I think once he got there and once he got in it, he realized that it's not, you know, what the grass isn't always greener, as they say, right? He realized he realized the pressure. He realized he doesn't connect with that generation. You think of the average age of an AEW locker room compared to the average age of a WWE locker room, of a Raw and SmackDown locker room. They're not the same.
No.
Right? Two people, Seth Rollins grew up off CM Punk. That audience grew up off Seth Rollins. You see what I'm saying? Like it's different. It's I'm not saying a whole generation, but it skipped. And then didn't he tell MJF that the grass? Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, and I think, this is what I mean about spinning a block, because it's like, all the right things and wrong things if you've been through the situation, no matter if you're the right or wrong person. Like, I know how much I fucked up on my last relationship, right? No matter if I was the right or wrong person. Does spin the block include publicly bad mouthing the ex too? Yes, it does, guys. Yes. I don't know how much experience you guys have had in relationships, but yeah, like you probably went on Twitter and subtweeted your bad, your
old
ex.
subtweet.
Yeah, subtweet your ex all day long, right? And except in this aspect, you don't get paid to subtweet your ex, right? So you literally get paid to talk bad about your former employer. That's what he did.
Unless
It's actually,
when they let you go, you signed an NDA, and
yeah,
which I am pretty sure is what has happened here.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's definitely weird. Like that whole AEW and Tony Khan thing is really weird. But now that he's back,
it is fucking weird, and we
weird.
might get to that. We'll see.
Yeah, but now that he's back, it's a thing of like, yeah, look, I've been over there, guys. You know what? When I said the grass isn't always greener, I'm actually right, because it's not green over there. And we can, if just us as fans and not even looking into the backstage politics of everything, things are different at AEW. It is not the same. It is not the same from the start. It is not the same from the middle, when they had an influx of Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole, and CM Punk coming over there. And it is definitely not the same now. And, we can only speculate to that of what it is, but it definitely is telling when you have people that, are homegrown and grew up. I mean, not homegrown. Well, yeah, like Jade, or like, of course, Cody, but CM Punk, and you got QT Marshall putting out letters saying like, "Yo, it's moving." It literally said AEW is moving in a different creative than I agree with.
Yeah, which is, I mean, yeah,
so it's something is trippy over there, and I don't fault him for being like, I've always kind of wanted to be over here. I'm gonna go test some waters to see if it's okay.
I also kind of feel like the Jade and Cody situations are different than the Punk one
How?
because
so?
their contracts were up and they weren't fucking fired. That's why.
Well, okay.
I mean,
If we're talking, yeah, just I mean in that space, yeah, but they would eventually Punk would eventually left.
yeah,
Like he
but
tried to leave when he got injured, right? So he would eventually would have left.
yeah, I mean that's fine.
You saying he should have waited? You saying he should have just waited and not got suspended?
Well, listen, he's not the only person at fault in that suspension. I'm not trying to say like, oh, the elite, everyone was fucking at fault there.
Yeah. And
then when everyone saw it, hey, look at what I can do to this guy. Oh, it's real glass. See, it's like everyone was just goading him on. So I'm not saying he is, or I'm sorry, I'm not saying. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm not saying he's fully to blame. I'm just saying it's a different scenario than Cody being like, my contract is up. I'm not going to renew. I have to finish the story. And with Jade, it's like her contract was up. From what we hear, the offers were similar. I think he should have added more zeros to it. That's just me. But it's like it's her decision to go where she wants. She's a free agent. Her contract's up. So if she wants to see what
I'm just continue talking.
Sorry,
yeah,
like,
stop reading. Yeah, stop reading. Just continue talking. Yeah.
If she wants to see if the grass is greener on the other side, and that is not including money, then she has the right to do so. It feels, I don't know. It feels different to me. And again, I am not saying that Punk is completely to blame for everything that happened at AEW. I would like to make that loud and clear to everyone who thinks I'm just like, oh, fuck Phil, AEW forever. I would honestly rather go watch All Japan Pro Wrestling at this point because I'm just so sick of everything else.
Right. We only have 10 minutes, and I don't want this to be a CM Punk trial by fire fest here.
Order in the cart.
But I do want to
again, sorry, I just want to say you're right. Yeah. Like this is exactly what they want. They want this discourse. They want us to be talking about it. And I am fine to talk about it. It's just this is why I'm not on social media as much anymore, I feel. Like I am barely on Twitter. I'm barely on literally anything else. And I've been like, oh, this is kind of nice. I can just have my opinion and I'm not doom scrolling and seeing like literally everyone like, haha, he fucking got Tony Khan. Fuck you, AEW. And I'm like, didn't you just say you liked AEW like 5 minutes ago? It's like, it's very weird. It's a weird place to be, and I don't want to be in it anymore.
Yes, I agree with you. And it's people should not be wanting to root for AEW's downfall. Right? That's one.
I agree.
That AEW Daddy Mac, what's his name? Daddy
Magic
2.0. Daddy Magic. Yeah, Daddy Magic Matt Bernard said AEW saved professional wrestling or saved wrestling. He tweeted that and everybody kind of got up in arms and all these things. And I see where he was coming from because it actually gave, look at all the people that's employed, not only just wrestlers, but camera people, tech people, like everyone. Look at everyone that's employed by that company. That's a whole nother place where people can make a living by doing the art that they love. So I get where he was coming from. I will say that, you know, if you just want to be technical about it, like
NXT,
Black and Gold. I mean, that's really what it is. But if you really that NXT, but if you really want
Although,
to be
I mean,
technical about it, All In.
yeah,
All In saved professional. Oh, yeah, Dylan. All In saved professional wrestling, right? Like the group of the elite put professional wrestling on their back and showcase that they could do something that was an alternative to WWE in a big arena and make it feel big. Because the reason why it's a big arena is because it has to feel like it's comparable to WWE to be respected. Impact is a damn good promotion. And the reason why it doesn't get respected as such because it's not in a big arena. The reason why it gets treated like it's NXT because it's in the same size arena as NXT. Right? Like, so I understand why he says that. And it's kind of true. But at the same time, it was All In and they lost their way from All In. All what All In was, the heart of that is not there anymore. And they need to figure out how to get that back. So I want to take a couple minutes out and ask you, how do you feel? How do you feel that, or what do you feel it would take for AEW to get its All In feeling back?
CM Punk. No, I'm just kidding. No, I agree. And we had this conversation, I think, after I think it was Sunday. I can't remember, man. These holiday weekends are killing me. I don't even know what day it is. It's Tuesday. And where I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know what they have to do. Like, they got to do something. And what do they have to do to get like their identity back or to be the true alternative? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like what? Like they're filling the All In filling back. How can we get there? Like what would you do if I was like, hey, we need to get back to this filling with the pieces that we have now? What would you do?
Well, I'd go back in time and make sure that MJF didn't tear his
the pieces that we have now.
I think what I said to you is we have 3 shows. We have Dynamite, we have, and I guess first thing I would do is be like, hey, ROH was fun. We're going back to Dark. If you want to watch ROH, it's on the streaming service. We're done with it. Sorry. That's the end of it. That's the first thing I think I would do.
So why? Why would you do that? I asked that because it's not like people like if you watch ROH, you watch ROH.
Yes.
Right? But if you don't, you don't. So why even touch that?
Because I think what is happening is we have some people down there, and I will just as an example use Athena. We have people down there that should be on TV every week helping our product be better. And if we label them as, oh, they're an ROH person, then we're never going to see how good they can be on TV. Now, I'm saying we need like Dark and Dark Elevation are still a thing, right?
I believe so. I don't.
There's too many. There's too many things. Too many things going on.
But that I hear that, and I hear that a lot, and I think you used to tell me all the time, nobody's forcing you to watch these things.
No, I still believe that, but I don't.
Dark should cancel. Oh, so Dark, yeah. So ROH replaced Dark, right?
Okay.
But no one's making
that's fine, I guess.
And people like Athena. So what it sounds like, because they have this time and they're using this time to showcase wrestlers, but it's like, hey, if you want to watch these, kind of reminds me of Main Event, right? Like when it'll be Cedric and Ali putting on bangers on Main Event, and people are like, it needs to be on the main show. It's like, well, if you want to watch it, it's available to watch.
Yes.
Like, just watch it. Like, why? If you watch it there, then they could be on the main show, because then it could get numbers instead of complaining about it being there.
April.
What did I say? Dark and Elevation.
April. That was many months ago.
Yeah. So I do agree that they over it, but to your point, what I do agree with is basically saying like they're overextending themselves, right? Instead of being able to focus on a central hub, they overextended too fast. They projected their growth and outgrew it a little too fast, and they could actually they could actually build with it.
Thank you, Dylan.
Oh yeah. So what I would do, because you're right, like they should definitely like put those people scale down to be able to build up. What I would do, I would scale down venues, meaning I would do different venues. If I speak about Black and Gold very highly. And the reason why I speak about it very highly because it felt different than any other wrestling promotion that I've ever experienced in my life. I remember telling you when Black and Gold was, I was like, this is probably how WCW Nitro felt.
That's must see TV. That was must see TV.
Yeah. I was like, this is how
it was available.
I went by myself. I went to the Palladium to see NXT by myself.
Great story. I love that story.
By myself. Like that's how much I was invested in this, because I was like, I just had to feel it was so different, right? And I think what All In and I remember when AEW first came to LA, and I wrote that article saying like, wow, this is actually the home of like feels like it's home. LA feels like AEW's home. Get back to that. Get back to doing places like the Forum, doing places like the place in San Francisco, the
Cow Palace,
the Cow Palace, doing places like I mean, I should did like Rosemont Horizon or something like that, but I mean, but
yes. Sorry, yes,
what?
Thank you, Dylan, for letting
me
know.
Your camera's great.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get all the gifts and I'm gonna use them all, and it's gonna be great. Sorry, go ahead. That's a huge win.
I forgot what I was saying, but yeah,
you were saying get back to the feel. Like it needs to feel like it doesn't feel like an alternative right now. It just feels like.
Well, yes, yeah, it doesn't feel like an alternative, but I'm saying how to get back to it. But I was. Yeah, that I was going. So I forgot.
Sorry, I got sidetracked by my camera working for the first time in like 4 months. I think, and I feel like I threw out that ROH thing. That was not something you and I had spoke about before. I was just spitballing. What I said needs to happen is if I'm going to turn into Dynamite, I know when it's Wednesday night, you know what that means. The first match I see should be a tag team match, or I think that would really build some identity back if we're trying to be an alternative. And I feel like we were all super hyped on trios matches. I remember there was a time when the trios matches were great, and everyone was like, these are great. These are a lot of fun. Why don't they do them more often? I'd open the show with a trios match every time. I don't know if that's going to make you the alternative that everybody wants, but it's at least something like WCW. When you knew WCW went live on Monday nights, you were getting a cruiserweight match to start, and it was a banger, usually. So I don't know if that's a start. And listen, if this report about Bryan Danielson being part of the committee that decide, which I guess first of all, you should not put. That's fine. We'll go over for this because I think this is important. You cannot be the head of a company and be a fucking coward. If you're going to fire somebody, don't make one of your employees do it or be part of a committee that decides that. That to me like puts Bryan Danielson in a really weird spot. That's just me. I think there is a lot of stuff that is being done wrong at AEW right now. That to me is a glowing example of something that's wrong. I think that if we've learned anything from this, wrestlers should not be EVPs ever, unless they are not active. There and I love AEW. I do. I like watching it. I like watching it on Wednesdays. I don't watch anything else live. They have to do better. Punk is an example of that. And this story that just came out is an example of that. And also, let me not forget, Big Swole is a huge example of that as well. I don't want to forget that because that was also just like a whole thing. And I mean, I'll say it, Jonathan Gresham was a huge example of that as well. In my opinion. So Garcia, I think I agree with there's no true leadership, but I feel like that something's got to give. Somebody has to have a come to Jesus meeting with old TK and be like, look, we want to succeed here. Stop trying to bury the competition and just be a good wrestling promotion. I think that sums up this entire weekend for me. Is do better. Just do better. You can do better. I feel like you can do better. What happened?
Garcia with a wild comment.
TK is the wrestling P. Diddy.
So TK is blowing up people's car. Nope. I can't say that too close.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, guys, it's been great. Ran over time.
That's fine because you know what? Now I'm fired up. I'm ready to do next week's show. I'm ready to get back in the saddle again. I think this was a good. This was very. I got a lot of things off of my chest.
You did.
I think you made some very good points. And I feel a lot better. I will continue to just watch WWE PLEs. But hey, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. Do you think before we go, do you think that was a wild line or do you think
that was a perfect line to set up?
No, I'm sorry. Do you think he said that on his own or do you think they said you need to end with this? Cuz that was like Mike was down, we were fading out. That's the last thing we heard. So
yeah, I think he's not saying anything that isn't okayed by creative. I don't think he's out there. Yeah, I don't think he's out there just swinging it and like nobody's writing his promos, but also they're like, yo, like he's not going to go up there. He's not going to go. He's not here to make friends, here to make money. He's not going to go out there and fuck up the money. Right. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I think
do you think Seth Rollins says to him, tell me when I'm telling lies?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm here for Seth, honestly. I'm here for the banter.
Yeah, Seth is gonna cut. Look, Seth shows up. That's one thing, and I think it really was solidified doing that Roman promo last year at Rumble, right? Like doing the Roman stuff and him coming out in the Shield stuff, but before just leading up to it, the antagonizing, and he was a heel, that was his first venture into being it was heel versus heel. So yeah, Seth.
One more question. When we eventually get Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, does Seth Rollins, is his gear that night Young Bucks gear?
If Seth Rollins does not come out in some tassels, Jordans, and pants, and in a vest, and does the Young Bucks pose, he's lost his way. But I believe Captain always steers the ship correctly, and I believe he's going to come out dressed as a Young Buck. and we're gonna love it, baby. Ooh, look at those gains. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Been in the gym, baby.
It's gonna be great.
Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
I feel better now.
Hey man.
Punk
That's
can do whatever he wants.
That's what I'm here for.
All right. Well, where can the people find you, Neeson?
You can find me with Devil Mask in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's
No,
out the window now, huh?
Nah, Jungle Boy. You can find me at Stay Fly Life everywhere on the Twitter, on the Twitch, on the everything. Yeah.
Wonderful. You can find me at JP Thrice everywhere. I'm not, like I said, I'm really not on social media anymore. It's like a weird thing. I had a full conversation with a friend about it today. But hey, if you want to message me, JP Thrice on all formats, you can send me a message. I will reply. I'm just I don't know, I'm in a lull right now.
I will reply.
I will reply. All right, so what do we got? YouTube.com/that hashtag show TV, Twitch.tv/that hashtag show, Instagram.com/THS.wrestling, and Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News. Well, I said that all out of whack. All out of whack.
Okay.
Guys, we appreciate each and every one of you sticking with us through my very sober ramblings about Mr. Brooks. We love it. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you check out that hashtagshow.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we'll see you guys next week.